my name is TJ. Today I'm doing my informative speech about different computer parts, how they work, what kind of, how they function in the PC, and yeah. The first part is the case. The case holds all your components, it lays the groundwork for your build, and what parts you're going to get, how many parts you're going to get, because cases vary in size, and it just depends altogether what you're going to get. Crucial.com doesn't even list a PC on the parts that you need to build a PC. So technically, you could just put your parts out on the counter and it would still turn on, but you wouldn't get the proper airflow and your parts could get damaged to where you can't use them anymore. The next part is the motherboard. The motherboard connects all your parts in your PC and is the central hub of your PC to where all the parts can communicate with each other and figure out what each one is doing. And the next part is the CPU, or the central processing unit. It's the brain of the PC. It processes all the data and everything that's going through, and how it depends how fast your PC is running and if it's taking too big of a load at a time. So that's what happens when your PC is slowing down, is your processor is freaking out or overheating, or it just depends. It's the brain of your PC. If your brain's not working, your computer's not working. And it's also one of the most fragile parts of your PC. So it has these pins on the PC, and you have to be very gentle with them when you're installing it into your PC. If you aren't, it can destroy the whole thing. The next part of your PC is your CPU cooler. If your CPU is overheating, it won't work properly at all. It gets really hot, and it won't work at all. There's two different types of coolers. There's a liquid cooler or an AIO, all in one. That's what it stands for, and just an air cooler. But NZXT.com says that liquid cooling is more effective than air cooling because liquids transfer heat more and better, and it just gives you better performance overall. The next piece of hardware is the GPU, or the graphics processing unit. This processes all your visuals, but it also can be integrated into your CPU. So you actually don't need a card like this. It can be inside the CPU, which is recommended for people that don't play games or anything. They can just have a CPU that runs with integrated graphics. The next part is the RAM, or the random access memory. This is your temporary storage for when you're browsing the internet, and depends how many tabs you have open and how fast it works. And once your computer turns off, all this memory that is stored in here gets lost, basically. It's not like a hard drive, it's temporary storage that will help your computer process data more. Not the same as like a processor, which is like the brain, but this helps. Next piece of hardware is the hard drive, which stores data, and lots of data actually, and for a long period of time. And will store data even when you shut your computer off. So if you're downloading a big file for school or downloading Windows or something, this is where it's going to be stored over time. And the last piece of hardware is the power supply, which the PSU, or the power supply unit. This is connected to nearly every part of the PC. It gives everything power, make sure it's running properly, and voltages differ too. You can have one with 600 watts, you can have one with 1,000 watts, but you don't really need that. But this will power the PC and make sure everything is running smoothly. TrishTech.com advises not to get a cheap power supply, because if you get a cheap power supply, or one with a low rating, it can not have a long lifespan, or some cases it'll light on fire, and you don't want that. So the conclusion is the 8 parts that you need. It's the case which holds all your components together. Make sure you're getting the proper airflow all together. The motherboard, which connects all the parts. Make sure they're communicating together and talking to each other. Basically, the CPU, which is the brain of the computer. Make sure every process everything. All the data goes through there. The CPU cooler, which cools the CPU. Make sure that your CPU is running properly and at the highest capacity possible. The GPU, which gives you all your visuals and make sure that processes quickly, but you don't need it. You can go through the CPU. Your RAM, which is your temporary storage for when you're just working on your computer. Your hard drive, which stores all your large data, and your PSU, which powers all your data and makes sure that everything gets power, so it's running properly. And these are my references. Thanks so much.